You guys, it's Sunday, it's Valen's birthday party, and the phone is blowing up. Incredible fights last night. And there was a moment in the 5th round, Israel Adesanya and Kelvin Gastelum, there was a guillotine, left-handed guillotine, and a triangle that almost sealed the deal. We gotta talk about it. It's Sunday, but it doesn't matter, because the Gracie breakdown has to go down. So standing up, Adesanya is landing, Kelvin shoots in with a head outside single leg. You got one. Adesanya wraps the neck very deep on the guillotine, like going. Kelvin flips out of this, falls down, and as a result, Adesanya gets on his back, like turtle position, and then he rolls, and then Kelvin rolls him, spins into Adesanya's guard, and look, boom! It just lands. And then there's a little scramble here. What's wild is for a moment, put this leg down.
He was like,
it was like very open, yeah. Kelvin was on top, and the triangle was very open, and then this arm would just keep going out and back in. So there were several moments where Kelvin could have backed out completely, but because he wanted to keep pressure on, the problem is he dove back into the triangle, and it got sealed up at some point. But it didn't seal here. It sealed here on the foot. And as a result, now he's reaching up, grabbing his shin. Kelvin comes around, reaches behind, grabs the hand, pulls it off the head, and then like front side stack here, turns, pressure, falls, now it busts open. And then Kelvin gets up, Adesanya runs away, and the scramble's back on. So standing up on the guillotine, head comes in, he wraps the neck. And there's one rule here that we should understand regarding standing guillotines in MMA, when the guillotine is not against the cage. And the rule is whoever initiates the descent to the ground has the advantage with the guillotine. Do they understand what that means?
They will understand when we show it right now.
Got it. So, who initiated the descent to the ground with Kelvin's guillotine, Kelvin's neck in the guillotine? He did. Adesanya was ready to stay standing up and finish it, right? John Jones, Lyoto Machida style, where it was up. The problem was John Jones was against the cage. That classic guillotine against our friend Lyoto. He had the cage to his advantage, which changes everything. No cage, if you have a guillotine and the person defending it spins or takes you down and initiates the takedown, they're going to protect their neck in the process. And that's what happened. Kelvin got out because of the scramble and the descent to the ground.
Not that we suggest you defend it the way Kelvin did.
No. Like, for example,
I don't even know what he did.
He just spun and gave his back and rolled and fell to the ground, and then he lost the neck in the
point
process.
is, Israel wasn't able to maintain the proper position,
Too much
angle,
disconnection.
control.
Let's show him one time how you would defend outside trip on the opposite. So you go here, and he don't descend, and then he ends up in a nice side control. See, so he went opposite side of the guillotine, classic, basic Gracie combatives, opposite side of the guillotine. Now, what ended up happening is the neck got, well, what I would say is this. If you're the person in this position, and you want to win and you're the guillotine-er, you have to do what Brian Ortega did or Chael Sonnen did, which is jump guard right here, boom, and catch it. Now you've initiated the descent, and you finish it from here by tying your legs in, and they can't pass to the safe side. So the risk is MMA does not endorse, I should say, MMA does not condone that behavior because you're putting your back on the ground. That's the risk. So someone like Israel Adesanya has to put his back on the ground against a grappler like Kelvin Gastelum, which is a very risky proposition if pulling guard is the only way, but we've seen it pays off. We've seen it against Chael Sonnen against Shogun Rua. Remember, he jumped guard and guillotined him because he was willing to do what surprised his opponent by initiating the descent and locking the legs. Brian Ortega and Cub Swanson worked beautifully. Fabricio Verdum, Cain Velasquez was a good one also. Guillotine standing, boom, close guard, and down we go. Whoever initiates wins there. And we saw that it paid off for Kelvin to scramble and get to the ground first. After the scramble, when they ended up in the triangle, we need to talk about this, you guys. So when it comes to triangles,
the right one?
This is the correct side.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So it was a left arm in triangle, and it was very scrambly. They're here, a lot of pressure, and then eventually, like you see it, like
even
open,
before it's open right here.
Yeah.
This is the time to pull your arm out and go here.
This would be nice.
Now there's no triangles and there's only guard passing.
So if you're
or just
duck your head out and leave all the way in or all the way out. The rule for triangles is unique. For me, I want one arm in and one arm out. Hidon wants both arms out or both arms in, one or the other. But to have it here and in the scramble, allow this arm to continue being pulled in or pushed out at my will, that's the concern, is that it can easily be triangle. That's what happened. There were at least 2 to 3 times where the triangle could have been defended, but weren't because the pressure on top was so determined that Adesanya kept, and what I feel like it must have been, because Kelvin's an amazing grappler, it must have been like disregard for Adesanya's triangle capabilities. And the truth is, all of us disregarded them until we saw what we saw last night, and it was pretty legit.
And the question was he even defending the triangle, or was it opportunities to defend, or just to avoid being caught in it?
Oh yeah,
because Adesanya wasn't even catching the triangle.
It was here, yeah.
He was just guard.
Yeah, and then suddenly it was like, boom, he just locked it because it was right there.
Yeah, when he became triangle, it was only a very short period of time.
Yeah. So once it's locked up, in terms of stacks, you guys, this is what we have to understand. This is the moral of today's story. When it comes to stacks out of triangles, there's two types. There's the backside stack, which is the back arm, the one that's not in the triangle. You come around the corner. Your idea is to put so much pressure on their neck that they have to let go. The problem with the backside stack is your life gets worse before it gets better. The rope gets tighter before it pops.
Yeah, as you turn the corner, your shoulder, your arm, and your neck, they kind of come together. So it narrows your body.
You become more chokeable here before the break happens.
And the break happens only if that person reaches that point of discomfort. So
Yes.
You really have to stack them.
You really have to
properly.
commit. And with what happened here is because Adesanya's triangle was a little bit loose on his foot, it wasn't ankle deep, it was foot bite, which is significant. Walk around here, please. When Kelvin stacked him up and started coming around, Kelvin got to here and then he dove this way. Now, so what happened is that's when it popped open. If this were tighter, a really legit triangle, mastery triangle, and Kelvin did the same thing where he dove over, this is what would have happened. And Adesanya would have ended up with a mounted triangle, striking, armbar, or squeeze. He would have had all this potential. So that's what would have happened on a fully locked triangle in that situation. But it wasn't fully locked. So the high risk, high reward escape attempt of Kelvin's paid off because the rope was not that tight and that tension that would have choked him otherwise actually freed him. Does this make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
The rope, imagine if someone just tied a rope around your neck and you were gonna try to get out by busting through the rope.
It's risky.
Either you choke yourself more or you save yourself by busting your neck through the rope. That's what happened right here. There's another stack called the front side stack that is much lower risk. Show them how we go the opposite way and why it creates less of a choking angle if you go this way. Show them.
So this is the natural way. Now the idea of putting pressure forward, maybe even using my knee to control his hip.
Look at what it does to my lock, you guys.
Unlocks and it also opens it moves my head further from my arm. Right? Which he wants my arm across. And I'm doing this.
So if you walk that way, go backside stack,
Yes.
it actually gets tighter.
Yes.
If you go front side, it actually helps you loosen. It loosens. It's very hard for me to lock right now with this posture. If you don't just stay stable and then little by little moves north here, I feel like I'm losing my control and I can't get it. It's a slower, more patient escape. But yeah.
And it's a little bit less it's a little more comfortable on your neck and back.
That's a good point.
I believe.
It's not as stacky,
Yes.
but it's unwinding of my lock is what it is. So lay down, please. If you're gonna practice these triangle escapes, you guys, look, when the triangle, let's do the other side. Triangle setup or even full lockup. Backside stack is this arm coming around either here or here, and then trying to put pressure just enough to hurt his neck. The problem is, if he can choose his angle, he would choose this angle. And you're doing that by running around this way. Whereas when you come around the front side, now try to create your same angle. He can't. So I have my angle here, we start to stack, then we can just sprawl, and then you get here, and you come around, and then you land.
Now, and to be clear, both of these stacks work best when it's not a fully locked triangle.
Good point.
When the triangle is fully locked, even with these two stacks, you're gonna have a hard time.
It's true.
So don't be too wishful with what these can do for you. Now, when it comes to the triangle, yes. And the triangle is locked right here. This idea of walking to one side or the other, you can see why we don't like walking to this side, because like you said, it narrows us. So at least for us lately, a lot of what we focus on is just simply doing this and going here.
Yeah.
And very much like almost trying to open our chest and prevent this leg from being able to get the nicest bite across the back of the neck. Now again, if it's already fully
I see. So you're
locked,
saying from triangle setup, which they were in for quite a while, they had triangle setup.
Yes.
You would do what? Show us.
I would go here.
And now I'm gonna try to lock it up. There's no way. His hips are down, his chest is up. I'm trying to break his posture right here, but it's a weird angle right now how over me he is. And if the guy moves, it's very annoying.
I'm much faster to move. I'm on my toes, my knees are bent, I'm loaded to run forward. So whether it's fully locked or not, it's partial lockup, it's triangle setup. Still energy straight forward and crowding the person's legs very, very much slows them down to completing the figure four.
And always better to prevent a triangle than to escape a triangle. That's the lesson of the day. Standing guillotines, whoever initiates the descent wins. Ground triangles, prevent it before escaping it, but if you do get caught, that backside stack, we call it high risk, high reward. You gotta bust through the rope to survive. And the front side stack, if you're fully locked up, works better because it unties the triangle angle. So make sure you guys mess with both of those. All of those available at GracieUniversity.com. Hidon has seminars coming up where?
Coming up in Victor, New York, and in North Carolina area, Chapel Hill area.
Those are in May. I'll be in Washington, D.C., June 23rd, super seminar, 3 seminars in the same day. If you're East Coast, June 23rd is when we're gonna connect.
Yes.
It's almost sold out, so make sure you guys get there.
Chicago also, end of
yeah.
June will also be in Chicago.
GracieUniversity.com/seminars for all the details. We have our Gracie Immersion Camp in Orlando, guys. It's going down in a month from now. If you've been contemplating a vacation and you haven't pulled the trigger, this is the family vacation to go on, because why would you go on a regular vacation if you could go on a jiu-jitsu vacation and get all the benefits of Disney World, all the parks, and train morning and night as much or as little as you want for the whole family at the same time. And then, of course, Gracie Bully Proof Summer Camp. BullyProofSummerCamp.com, July 22nd through July 26th. Schools all over the world, over 20 locations internationally, domestically. If you have a kid and you want to prepare them for bullying, it's going to go down July 23 to 26. Sign your kid up at BullyProofSummerCamp.com. Congratulations to the champ, Israel Adesanya, and to Dustin Poirier over Max Holloway. Incredible fight as well, you guys. The journey continues. Thank you, guys. I have no doubt that the single greatest benefit of growing up in the Gracie family and all the skills that came with it was knowing that I could resist pressure from my peers and there was nothing they could do about it. This is the most important gift we aim to instill in every student of the Gracie Bully Proof program.
Children grow up in a world of incredible uncertainty, especially within themselves. Giving them jiu-jitsu will help them own themselves so they can face life's challenges with the highest level of confidence.
When your son or daughter says no, it will mean no.